It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Raptors in Toronto. For the Raptors, in comparison to where they were record-wise at this point last season, it seems they've taken a step backwards. They're trying to make up that ground. Some teams fast out of the gate, others not so lucky. Kenny, for the teams that have started slowly, how do they turn the tide?
You know what? About a week ago, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, when that happens, you can't panic. The season's just begun. Identify the real problems before you start tinkering on things.
Sometimes a lineup change can help. Things may just have to work themselves out, though.
Time now for tip-off. We get it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
The skyline of downtown Toronto really looking wonderful tonight. It's a beautiful evening here on the shores of Lake Ontario. Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. The Detroit Pistons come into this one after the win against the Charlotte Hornets. And they finished that one out up 4. Competitive, but ultimately they prevailed.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, thanks very much. Now, the Toronto Raptors have one of the deeper rosters in the league. Now, Dwayne Casey's no longer the coach, but he said in the past, we've got a lot of guys who are similar talents, but with different skill sets. And now they're doing their best, Kevin, to keep all of them involved.
A team to be reckoned with in the East. DA? A lot of people, Steve, talk about the length of the season, 82 games. Do you think the league will ever reduce that number?
No, I don't think so. I think the commissioner's done an excellent job of trying to spread out games. He's cut down the back-to-backs, and so it's given some guys some much-needed rest, and I think they've looked at the travel schedule. So I don't think they ever want to reduce the number of games. The league is going well right now with 82.
And you've got to keep, Steve, the regular season relevant.
Yes.
Don't you? I mean, it's got to matter. It's got to matter.
I think so, and I think that's the reason why. I think they might change the playoff format, but I don't think they would change the regular season.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Kennard is out there with Jackson, and it's Bullock in at the 3.
And that's a quick foul for him there. Looks like the refs are going to call this one pretty close.
And stolen by Drummond. And Griffin, here we go. Jackson. Misses from short range. And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Here's Leonard. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Leonard's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Raptors.
You can see the work Kawhi has put into his ball handling. Gets separation almost any time he wants.
Free throw line jump shot. Jackson gets the bucket.
And that had to be a defensive mix-up. They know he can hit from that spot.
Yeah, a big miscommunication early. They allow his first points of the day.
Now here's Valanciunas. He's coming off a 13-point game against New Orleans. Jackson against Lowry. Back to Ibaka. 5 on the clock. Green inside the three-point line. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And it's Bullock in the corner. Leonard with the steal. Shoots. Rebounded by Jackson.
Tough miss. He found some space inside the arc, but he could deliver.
And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Jackson against Lowry. Jackson down low.
Great job there from Valanciunas not to give any ground on that shot.
Lowry feeling it out a bit. Pass to Leonard. Feeds to Valanciunas. Shot clock at 3. Here's Green. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Green's got his first points of the game. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Kennard kicks to Drummond. Outside Jackson. Cranes the three-pointer. Jackson's got 5 now.
You know, a little inconsistent from deep when he first entered the league. Jackson now an emerging three-point threat.
Outside Green. Pass to Leonard. He can't get that one. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Here's Kennard. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
You get a chance to see the elite court vision there. Excellent pass.
Raptors trail by 3. Pass to Valanciunas. Outside Leonard. Right through the D for the layup.
Attacking, trying to get good looks. Give Kawhi credit. He finds one.
Kennard kicks to Griffin. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And Griffin slams it in.
If I'm Blake Griffin, I'm telling my teammate, throw it higher. I'll go get it.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now the pass to Leonard. Shoots over Bullock. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And that was an easy one there. Just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
Now here's Jackson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Charlotte. And that one is stuffed right through.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
That was just a textbook pick that allowed him room, and he took advantage of it.
Inside, and stolen by Drummond. Kennard kicks to Griffin. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
I love this about Blake Griffin, able to make tough shots in traffic. Luke Kennard, the 12th pick in the 2017 draft out of Duke, an outstanding shooter and has a lot more to show in this game.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
I think it very well could be. That might be the game-changing play that helps push them over the top.
Here's Jackson. The Raptors getting the bucket. That one goes. Count it. Jackson's got 7.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Lowry against Jackson. And Kyle Lowry with the 3.
Well, Lowry will never hesitate to take a 3. It's a big part of his arsenal.
Kennard kicks to Griffin. Pass to Drummond. Passes it to Jackson. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Lowry from outside. Rebound, Detroit. For the 3, and Reggie Jackson gets the 3. He's got 10.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Lowry kicks to Ibaka. Outside Leonard. They kick it out to Green. Shot clock at 6. Kennard with the rebound. Pistons leading by 7. Griffin passes to Kennard. Outside Jackson. shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Reggie Jackson, a great season and a half spent in Detroit. Since that time, injuries have slowed him down.
And Jackson dealing with knee tendonitis, Steve. Then last season, a serious ankle sprain.
Grade 3, as bad as it gets. One of the league's most imposing point guards. He's got to be right, though.
The free throw drops for Jackson. Well, Steve, at the same time that the rest of the NBA seems to be going small, the Pistons are building their fortunes around 2 traditional big men like Drummond and Blake Griffin. Do you like that direction?
Yeah, I do. Andre Drummond, he has tremendous mobility for his size. And Blake Griffin, he's highly skilled. I think it's about the pieces you put around them, guys that can shoot and guys that can play without the basketball in their hands.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Smitty, when you were playing, the league tinkered with the distance of the three-point line. Given the emphasis on perimeter offense now, should they consider moving it further out?
Kevin, please not. No way. Guys are shooting it 4, 5 feet behind the line already. Now if you move it back, then they're going to move back to half court.
I know.
Keep the line the way it is right now. I like it the way it is right now, Kevin.
It's enough of a challenge, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Smith, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Ish Smith, an excellent backup point guard, more than capable of holding down the starting spot as well.
Well, Steve, Ish Smith with speed to burn. Man, can he fly.
Like a rocket, he pushes the pace. As fast as he plays, he keeps his turnovers extremely low.
That one is off.
This Toronto offense have been going through a transition the last few years. The team used to take a lot of mid-range shots and run a lot of ISOs. They switched to more of a ball movement-oriented style, and it paid off.
Lewis checked in for Detroit. And he sinks the second. Along with the Raptors' decrease in isolations, the amount of threes jumped up as well.
So true. 38% of shots last year were threes. Raptors took the 3rd most threes in the league last season. We'll see if that trend continues this season, but there has clearly been a shift in how they want to play.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And look at what they did in the 4th quarter. Just totally out of sync and lacking in intensity, and that turned into that huge comeback.
Now here's Wright. 8 points his last outing. It doesn't go for him. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Smith surveying the D. Jackson kicks to Robinson. Leonard with the steal. Pass to Van Vliet. And it goes down 2 points. And the Pistons with possession here. 8-point game. Jackson against Wright. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got 14 points for the game.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Wright outside. He feeds it to Leonard. Over Lure, and it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Wright. And that's now 6 points for Leonard.
An all-NBA first-teamer in 2016, Kawhi can drop points on you from anywhere.
Jackson kicks to Lure. And there's the pass to Smith. Clock at 6. Teardrop shot. He takes it up and lays it in. And the Pistons lead by 10.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
Now here's Wright. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Monroe, no good.
And that can't happen. Missing the wide open chip shot.
Pass to Smith. Outside Jackson. And the three off target. Raptors trail by 10. Right, left side. Three-pointer. Good on the three-point shot.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. Out to the right wing. 1:58 left here in the opening quarter. Outside for Jackson. Now the dish to Pachulia. Rejected by Monroe. Van Vliet passes to Leonard. Good on the shot. And now it's only a 5-point Piston lead.
This is what Kawhi provides. 100% of effort. Loves to take it right to you.
Smith finds Jackson. Over Wright. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. Monroe outside. Leonard looking around. Let's go. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Leonard's got 10 points in the game.
I'll tell you, he is scorching the Nets this quarter. Maybe that'll help wake up some of his teammates.
Back to Jackson. And it's Wright sending it back. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That is his first foul of the game. Smith kicks to Lewis. Jackson against Wright. Shot clock at 6. Second chance shot. And the shot is long.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
13 feet away. And again, Kawhi Leonard. 12 points for him.
If you can't get Leonard a look inside, this is the next best thing. Terrific touch from mid-range.
Outside Jackson. Got a piece of it, and that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. From deep three-point range, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for the Detroit Pistons. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. Back to the action after this word. Now a veteran in the NBA, Serge Ibaka, talked about his role on this team.
I like to do all those little things, running up and down, blocking shot, straight to floor, making open shot, rolling the basket, screen, those dirty work. I like to do that.
And Ibaka, Greg, a great complementary player.
And you like his combination of size and skill, able to impact the game at both ends on a high level.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
Aggressive rebounding in that first quarter. That's what's given them the advantage.
Control the boards, and you control the flow of the game.
We've got Monroe. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Wright, and it's Van Vliet in the point guard. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. And Lure gets it to go.
I'll tell you, even though he's a question mark from range, you still have to defend him.
Raptors trail by 4. Van Vliet kicks to Wright. Passes it to Leonard. Over Robinson. And it's Leonard missing. Detroit's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown.
The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
They get it back, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Monroe.
And there's the experience of Pachulia, catching the defender off balance.
And it goes to show you that any coach can get fired. Casey, one of the most successful, highly regarded coaches in the league, and Smitty still got let go.
If you learn about all he's overcome, all the tough jobs he's worked in the past, you knew he'd take it on the chin and keep on trucking.
2 shots. Last on the first.
First one falls for him. All different levels of playmakers in the league right now, but some guys, Steve, have an innate vision that just can't be taught.
Yeah, I love watching Chris Paul with his vision. Even Ben Simmons, a younger guy who can pass the basketball. DeMarcus Cousins is a guy who has great vision for his size, has a great feel for the game. There's just so many guys. Ricky Rubio is another guy who can pass the basketball.
Yes.
And Lonzo Ball,
good name.
A young guy. Those guys have just that innate vision. They can see 2 plays ahead.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. And he knocks down the first one. Well, Smitty, we saw with Jonas Valanciunas, the Lithuanian big man, shooting more threes last season.
Valanciunas saw all the other centers in this league add a three-pointer and wanted in on the action as well. Only took about 1 a game, but he shot over 40%.
And Toronto making a change here. Ibaka's checked in. Valanciunas hits them both.
It's a luxury to have a big man who can shoot free throws this way.
Griffin passes to Kennard. Second quarter of basketball, just over 1.5 minutes played so far. Really left alone that time. And it's 6 points for Blake Griffin.
Blake is okay with the catch-and-shoot jump shot, looking comfortable.
Here's Van Vliet. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against New Orleans.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game.
And the Pistons with possession here after the missed 3 from Serge Ibaka. Count it from 12. And now it's an 8-point Piston lead.
When the defense is non-existent like they were there, it's pretty easy to score like he did.
Van Vliet kicks to Ibaka. Back to Van Vliet. Pass to Lowry. Fires the 3. It's good for a second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
If Lowry gets his feet set under him on a catch and shoot like that, the odds are it'll go in.
Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Here's Kennard. And the rejection by Valanciunas.
Valanciunas, he's got that long wingspan. You saw it right there on that play.
And the shot goes in. Now just a 3-point Piston lead.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Now here's Bullock. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Griffin. The pass to Kennard. Outside for Griffin. They get it back. Drummond. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Here's Green. And out of bounds. The Pistons will take it. And if you're wondering where the points are coming from here tonight, here's a breakdown in the scoring between the front court and back court tonight for the Pistons.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this backcourt has kept them in the game.
Drummond with it. Now Valanciunas defending. Here's Griffin. Here's Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
The league leader in offensive rebounds on multiple occasions. Drummond doing it again.
Lowry finds Valanciunas. Back to Lowry. Oh, the lob to Valanciunas. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And while we have a chance, how about the numbers for Valanciunas? 10th in field goal percentage. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And back to his phenomenal efficiency from 3, top 10 in the league. His consistent shooting creates so many openings in the defense. The free throw drops for Smith.
And it took them a while to find their touch at the line, but they have been red hot here in the second quarter.
Second free throw, no good. Steve, now that you've had a little time away from the game as a player, what are some of the things you notice now that maybe you didn't notice when you were playing before?
Well, I think right now the emphasis on nutrition. Kevin, I did not take that serious. I thought I could eat whatever I wanted to. And I think also right now I look and love what is going on technology-wise as far as guys being able to use technology to help their game and to enhance their game.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside. Boy, did he burrow his way in there, and the D just sort of backed off.
Now here is Lowry. He's coming off a 31-point game against New Orleans.
You know what? I also like how he attacked the glass. Gave a terrific effort in that department.
Smith against Lowry. The 15-footer. Nice shot by Smith. Smith's got the lead up to 10 now for Detroit.
Always a good sign for Smith. Getting the jumper to fall sets up other parts of his game.
And the Raptors call time here. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Outside Lowry. Green dishes to Lowry to halt the run, and the Raptors miss again. Pistons leading by 10. Griffin down low. Ibaka on him. That shot by Griffin, no good. Smith against Lowry. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So good. 1 free throw coming up.
You know, he had a hot start to this game. He's only gotten hotter. We'll see if the defense makes an adjustment.
When you watch Kyle Lowry play, you see how much bigger he is than his stats. Does so many little things on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a great screen setter, takes charges, all the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. but are important when it comes to winning.
One shot.
And Greg, with Lowry, it isn't like he's quiet on the stat sheet either.
Yeah, he is a bulldog. I mean, he scores it, the playmaking. He's just complete in terms of a backcourt player. Rebounds as well as anybody for his position and got good hands on defense. It just gives you a little bit of everything at that point guard position.
And so Ibaka will bring it up for Toronto. They trail by 7. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And they rolled over this team last season, beating them every time they faced off.
Yeah, these two teams haven't changed that much, so I wouldn't be surprised if they run the table on them again.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Bounce pass, Smith. Now, here's Bullock. Not a lot of room. Smith against Lowry. 6 to shoot. Smith in the posts. Good work defensively by Lowry.
Nice move inside. Has the defender beat. Just fails to finish.
Outside, Green. A floater, and the layup is up and in. Now it's just a 3-point Detroit lead.
This is something Danny has been working on, putting the ball on the floor and taking it strong.
To the inside. And Griffin scores. The assist by Smith. And it's 8 points for Blake Griffin.
You have to credit the pinpoint pass for making that play possible.
Smith against Lowry. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Well, not too long ago, Kyle Lowry was a free agent in high demand, Steve. Toronto signed him to that big contract, and it's worked out for both of them.
You know, the Raptors believed in Lowry and were willing to pay up to keep him. They see him as a vital part of this team now. Lowry took some time to mature as a player, but now it's paying off.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Steve, with Toronto being the lone team in Canada in the NBA, they represent a lot for the nation's basketball fans.
Canada has taken a big step forward in their basketball program. More high draft picks are Canadian, and more are on the way. The success, in my opinion, of the Raptors over the last several years has definitely had an impact on Canadian basketball.
And so Lowry nails both of them.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Smith kicks to Bullock. In the corner, it's Griffin. Back to Bullock. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Lowry's got the ball. Count that one. Lowry's got 17.
You know, whether he's running the fast break or finishing it, Kyle Lowry is a handful in the open court.
Outside Griffin. Here's Kennard. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Charlotte. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Griffin can't get it to go in.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Green taking his time here. Lowry passes to Green. Lowry against Smith. Lets it go from deep. Here's Valanciunas. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
For a player his size, Valanciunas has always been a good free throw shooter. We won't see a hack of Val anytime soon.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And it's tied up with that one. And the Raptors making a change here. Leonard's checked in. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Pachulia, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Luer comes in for Blake Griffin. Robinson's checked in for Reggie Bullock, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
He is definitely disappointed. He couldn't put his team up in front, but at least he knotted this one up.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
In the past, Detroit put Andre Drummond in the middle, surrounded him with shooters. With Griffin in the fold, more of a classic front court pairing for the Pistons.
First one falls for him. Steve, the Pistons, 4 shooters, 1 big man model. Much more common nowadays.
Yeah, well, the Pistons can stagger Drummond and Griffin's minutes to get more shooting on the floor. Even playing together, I think they complement each other pretty well.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And this is what we've come to expect from him. This type of consistency from the line.
Green kicks to right. And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Well, Steve, for the Raptors, the last few years, regular season hasn't been a problem. It's been all about the playoffs.
Yeah, the Raptors have the goal of making it out of the East and to the finals. It's the right goal to have with the way they perform in the regular season. This team, they will always be measured by their playoff runs.
Free throw drops for Wright. And so Wright nails both of them. And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Pachulia finds Jackson. Pachulia trying to break loose, and the basket by Jackson. Jackson's got 16 points.
And you're seeing it with Jackson tonight. When he gets in a real rhythm, man, he can light up the scoreboard.
Valanciunas dishes to Wright, the 11-footer, and he drops that one in. Wright's got the game tied up here for the Raptors. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Here's Kennard, guarded by Green. And here's Pachulia. A 14-point game for him in the win against Charlotte.
He was really aggressive on the glass, too. He really racked up on the boards out there.
Kennard's shot is off.
He got a good look from the mid-range area. He needs to shoot this one with more confidence.
Wright against Jackson. Wright looking around. Back to Valanciunas. Here's Jackson. Cross contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
The strength and body control of Reggie Jackson gives him an edge against physical defense, potential, and one.
Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Valanciunas.
One shot, find the lane.
And that one falls for Jackson.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
Green kicks to Leonard. The fader. That shot missing. And it's Detroit the other way. They've led by as much as 10. And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17 battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important
in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
Here's Siakam. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
That was against good defense. He tried to sneak it in, though. We've seen him do it plenty of times.
Leonard with the steal. Poked loose. Stolen by Jackson. 8 for 15 with that made basket, but he's not satisfied yet.
Lots of contact. Jackson with the strength to power through. Something he didn't have when he first entered the league.
Siakam kicks to Monroe. Got a piece of it. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And the dunk by Jackson.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
Here's Leonard. And it's Monroe at the elbow. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Just 5 on the clock. And right, here we go. Got a piece of it.
And when you look at the stats, Zaza, not a great shot blocker, but gets all of that one.
"20 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
Rough start to this game. Hits one bucket in the first and nothing here in the second.
Pass to Jackson. Takes the three. And so it's the Detroit Pistons bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, big first half, a lot of energy. What are you guys doing differently tonight?
With active hands on the defensive end, it really got us all hyped up. And, it translates to the offensive end as well, too. So, we're looking real good right now. We just got to put it together in the second half, too.
Transition really working well for you in the first half, Andre. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Reggie Jackson is having one of those nights. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. After a subpar performance in their previous contest, he has come on strong tonight. His first half, sensational. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Raptors.
I think they're giving this game away because of their turnovers. I mean, you may not control everything that happens out there, but you do control how much you value each possession. I think coming out of the break, they need to be more efficient to close the gap in the score.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
And that really tests the defense. It's hard to take the right angle on him to contest the shot.
Pistons leading by 7. On the court for the Pistons, the athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Jackson is out there with Kennard, and it's Bullock in at the 3 slot. Here's Griffin. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. 11 points for Blake Griffin.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Green kicks to Leonard. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from the baseline. Misses off the left iron. And, well, Detroit shooting well. 50% from the floor. To the middle. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Blake Griffin, an all-star for his first 5 seasons in the NBA, but not the last 3. He's still an impact player, though. We'll see if he can crack the roster in the East.
One shot, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Griffin. Well, as we all know, Blake Griffin, Steve, possessing breathtaking athleticism, but injuries certainly have been a concern.
You're right. A lot of it, just bad luck. A teammate falls on your knee. That kind of thing happens. But his skill level is starting to complement his power. I think he'll be fine.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Kawhi Leonard. Averaging 33 points a game, over 3.5 steals and 4 assists. And you love his anticipation. All those steals, he's always a step ahead, reading plays before they develop.
I mean, high-level feel for the game allows him to gamble with a purpose. Does he get burned once in a while? Sure, but not as often as he guesses right.
And he makes the first.
The Toronto Raptors, they don't get enough credit for their defense. They were a top 5 team last year in opponent field goal percentage. And as a group, they close out well and get a hand up on every shot.
And Kyle Lowry drops them both. And Steve, the Raptors defense, they may not have any first-team all-defenders, but as a group, they're solid.
They have strong rim protection. They were second in the league in blocks. They rebound well as a group. You don't think of the Toronto Raptors as a defensive team, but this team gets a lot of wins because of their defense. Well, a big focus for the Pistons has been improving their shooting, and they've done it. Last season, the 5th best three-point percentage in the league.
2 shots. And Steve, last season, the Pistons' three-point percentage was top 5, but their percentage inside the arc, bottom 5.
Only middle of the pack in terms of the number of threes they attempted.
Gentlemen,
might want to shoot more from long range, force the defense to really guard them out there to open up the inside.
First free throw is good.
You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
Both free throws good from Jackson. And Toronto has possession. It's a 13-point game. Lowry passes to Ibaka. Kicks it to Valanciunas. Outside Leonard. Clock at 6. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Common occurrence for Leonard. Once he makes his way to the rim, Kawhi levels up.
Passes to Griffin. Here's Kennard. Drummond with it. Now Valanciunas defending. Jackson from long range. Sinks the triple. Jackson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Just how they drew it up coming out of the half. 3 straight from the field.
Lowry against Drummond. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from Kyle Lowry.
When you are Lowry's size, you need to have a strong floater, and that was a beauty he just put up.
Here's Kennard. 8 points for him. Drummond finds Jackson. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Good work defensively by Lowry.
After hitting 3 straight, they finally missed one. But you can see the rhythm coming out of the half.
Right side, Leonard. Stolen by Jackson. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Once he's dialed in, helping to dictate the flow of this game.
And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game.
And with a percentage of 82, he's been one of their more dependable shooters from the line.
Fred VanVleet is checked in for Toronto.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Jackson.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Raptors trail by 15. Toronto calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
Let's take a second now to view the top pickpockets in the NBA. Second is Kawhi Leonard.
And he's been a rock for them defensively. Just so many steals for him this year, and so many of them have been in key moments for his team.
And now we're 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter of play. VanVleet kicks to Valanciunas, and that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. We've had a full season now, Steve, of the jersey-sponsored insignias and patches. That has become a reality in the NBA. Any thoughts on that so far?
I guess, Kevin, because I'm old school, I don't like seeing it on the jerseys. I like the clean look. I would love to see it on their warm-up jerseys. You know, obviously their warm-up jackets and pants. I just don't like seeing it on the jersey. But I don't think I'm going to win this one, Kevin. I think they are here to stay. I think they might even add more sponsors on jerseys.
Yeah, the look they like is the look of money. Money, that's a good look.
That's the look
they get from those sponsorships, right? Smith checked in for Kennard. Griffin down low, defended by Ibaka.
Yeah, that one put him over the limit, and it's so early that if they're not careful, this could turn into a parade at the free throw line.
Blake Griffin has made significant improvement as a shooter over the years. He's been working with his shooting coach. He's rewired his shooting form.
Two shots.
He's off on the first. Steve, you talk about Griffin changing his shooting form. How is it different now than when he started?
Well, he releases it now on the way up, jumping straight up and down. A higher release gets more arc on the ball. Making a new motion feel normal takes a tremendous amount of work and repetition.
Lowry with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Pass to VanVleet. Back to Lowry. Stolen by Jackson. Now here's Bullock. He's covered by Leonard. Outside for Jackson. Tips it. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Raptors trail by 16. VanVleet looking around. Now Valanciunas. He has 5. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Pistons on defense. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. 5 on the clock. VanVleet passes to Ibaka. Here's Lowry.
And yeah, he's undersized, Smith, but boy, he plays hard on defense.
Now, here's Bullock. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Smith on the wing, while recovering. And that one's good. Drummond.
Working every day to develop his skills. Drummond with a nice finish inside.
Here's Van Vliet. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Outside Leonard. Ball's knocked loose. It's good. That's 8 baskets for him now. 8 for 15 shooting.
One of the more physical wings in the league. Kawhi gets smacked there, but not to be denied.
Here's Jackson. Softly drops in the floater. Jackson's got 33.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Van Vliet kicks to Leonard. Shoots over Bullock. Hits the difficult fadeaway jumper. And that's now 18 points for Leonard.
Making a dent in this deficit. He's been on point tonight.
Valanciunas against Drummond. He dishes it to Bullock. No good with the triple.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And the pass to Lowry. He kicks it to Valanciunas. Back to Lowry. Down low. The jump hook. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
He usually shoots a high percentage in the paint. And on that play, Valanciunas got it done.
Pass to Jackson. Floats one. He lays it in. Jackson's got 35.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Toronto calls timeout.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
Some changes for Toronto. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Pascal Siakam comes in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Wright in for Kyle Lowry. Detroit also making some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. John Lure comes in for Blake Griffin. And Glenn Robinson III is subbed in for Reggie Bullock. Smith, it's hauled in by the Raptors. Siakam's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Van Vliet with the bucket. Van Vliet's got his 2nd basket of the night. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Detroit. They led by as many as 18 points. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Now here's Jackson. He has 35. Pachulia, good. And the Pistons lead by 16.
As you can imagine, this is where Zaza gets most of his points. Right in that painted area.
Wright with it. Now Smith defending. And Wright kicks to Leonard. Over Lure. Not enough on that one as it misses.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
The feet to Pachulia. Jackson down low. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Jackson's got 37.
There you go. Under intense defensive pressure, Reggie fearless in the painted area.
Leonard on the wing. Pachulia covering.
Not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
Now here's Jackson. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. Back to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Steps back and fires. Pachulia. Great positioning on the putback.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Raptors trail by 20. And Wright kicks to Siakam. Leonard, that's for 2. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Leonard against Robinson. Passes it to Smith. Beyond the arc. Hits the three-point bomb. Smith's got his third basket of the night right there.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And Leonard gets it to go.
You have to give it up for Kawhi right now. He is wearing out the defense.
Jackson looking it over. Lure finds Jackson. Back to Lure. Smith on the wing. 2 minutes. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Smith's got 5 points in the quarter.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Raptors have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. Monroe the pass to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Back to Monroe. And it's slammed in by Monroe.
It's amazing everything Leonard gives you, including the eyes to find the open man.
Smith kicks to Pachulia. Back to Smith. Leonard with the steal. Dishes to Wright. We've got 1:13 left here in the third quarter. Shot clock at 6. Leonard, and another basket for Toronto.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Smith kicks to Robinson. And he gets the bucket. And the Pistons lead by 21.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Van Vliet. It's tipped. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Robinson against Leonard. Robinson goes in. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Toronto with the ball. Here's Van Vliet. Kicks it to Leonard. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Detroit Pistons riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. We've got more in store for you right after this. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They've got Wright, also Green out there. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Greg Monroe. And it's Siakam in at the power forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Here's Siakam. And that one is good. Siakam's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Raptors.
Strong move at the rim. Overpowers the smaller defender.
Smith kicks to Lure. To the middle. Plays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
Oh, Kevin, get a load of that one. Take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook, boys.
Perfectly done. You're right. He put it on a platter for him. Now here's Wright. Steve, the NBA playing games in foreign countries now during the regular season. You think that'll become a more common occurrence?
I do, Kevin. I think they do a good job of getting a chance to, I would say, gather all the fans around the globe. Our game is going more global. And I think some of the players and some of the teams, they love it. I think a lot of times if they make sure the NBA, they're not sending the exact same teams and get a chance to spread the wealth, I think it's a great idea.
And here's Jackson. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. The shot that time, not on target. Green dishes to Leonard. And there's the call on Pachulia. That is his first foul of the game. And the Raptors with some changes. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Monroe. Ibaka comes in for Leonard. And it's Kyle Lowry in for DeLon Wright. And a switcher also for Detroit. Bullock's checked in. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Pistons leading by 20. Here's Kennard. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
For the Pistons, Andre Drummond comes in for Zaza Pachulia. And Blake Griffin subbed in for Lure.
One shot.
And that one misses. Smitty, you're looking around the league right now. Certain players extremely smart. Which guys do you think will make the transition the easiest from player to coach?
You know, some guys that stick out, Chris Paul, I think Mike Conley, LeBron James, obviously. Those guys, they just stick out. You can see their coaches on the floor, Draymond Green, they just have a way because they have those leadership qualities, and also they play the game the right way. They have such a good understanding and a good feel. Those are some of the guys that stand out for me.
That was a good list. You're right. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And Toronto has possession. Raptors trail by 20. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Lowry kicks to Siakam. Shoots over Bullock. Siakam misses.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
From 10 feet out. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Outside for Jackson. Detroit with a fresh 24.
Wow, another opportunity. Just everything going their way. Pretty much the story of this game.
An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Now here's Valanciunas. Pass to Siakam. 6 on the shot clock. Lowry drawing the double team. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Bullock kicks to Drummond. Takes a 3. That shot by Griffin, no good. The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Green, the pass to Siakam. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. NBA wants to keep things competitive, and one way to do that was to make some changes, Steve, to the draft lottery odds.
2 shots.
Do you think it'll be enough?
You know, I think it's the right call for them. I think the bottom 3 teams all have the same odds for the top 3 spots now. And it'll be much more even to distribute the odds for the back half of the lottery.
And that one misses. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Pistons. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. And there's the pass to Drummond. Here's Bullock. Siakam pulls it in. Siakam's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Coming down the stretch here, holding the lead. You like him to be more efficient offensively.
Now, here's Lowry. He kicks to Valanciunas. 5 to shoot. Over Drummond. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's foul number 2 for him. Detroit leading by 22. Jackson with the bounce pass. Griffin with it. Back to Jackson. Pass to Drummond. Now here's Bullock. He's tightly guarded. And the shot goes down.
And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Jackson against Lowry. Trying to get something going. The offensive rebound. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
The persistence of Valanciunas paying off in a big way on the glass. He is just a tremendously hard worker.
Kawhi Leonard, he's checked in for Pascal Siakam.
One shot. One shot.
We know a lot of NBA players take how they've been rated in a video game, Steve, personally. You've made digital appearances during your career. Did you ever have any issues with the rating?
No, I didn't. And I think now these players grew up in this generation with video games, so yes, they take it personally. They understand, and they're playing these games while they're in the NBA. So a lot of them, just like when the media is all over them, they want to have a say-so on how good they are, even in a video game.
The wide open look here for Ibaka. Wide open shot is on the money.
And that's a nice jumper by Ibaka, showing good touch from mid-range.
Kennard kicks to Griffin. Drummond up top, guarded by Valanciunas. Jackson from long range. He can't get that one to fall. And Toronto will go the other way with it.
It's been a frustrating quarter for him shooting the basketball. He just has to make sure he's taking good shots.
Leonard finds Green. Kicks it out to Leonard. Detroit with the rebound. Kennard's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Jackson. Good work there as it goes. Jackson's got 39.
The developing feel Reggie Jackson has for scoring inside, playing much more under control these days.
Passes it to Valanciunas. Back to Leonard. NBA awards are voted on by broadcasters and writers around the NBA. Do you think that's the best way, Steve, to pick an MVP?
Well, I really think in some kind of way you got to have players more involved, being able to come out and be able to pick the MVP because these are the players that are going up against these guys. I also would love to see where we have more of the defensive player of the year during the offseason, the rookie of the year in the offseason, obviously giving out more of those awards for the playoffs as well.
And you got to, of course, beware of it becoming a popularity contest, too.
Yes, totally. Not in rhythm. He had the 2 triples in the first half, none so far in the second.
Lobs it up for Ibaka, and stolen by Drummond. And here's Jackson. Outside Griffin. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. And that's 20 points for Blake Griffin. And so Lowry will bring it up for the Raptors. Outside Leonard. Releases. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Leonard's got 5 points now in the quarter.
The decision-making of Leonard could have hit the roller, but already had the shot he wanted.
Pass to Kennard. Player podcast, something we're hearing more of, and it's a growing trend. Good idea, or do you think it could get some guys in trouble?
Kevin, well, some guys, it does a good job of helping their brand, and we love to see guys getting a chance to do other things off the court. And then there are some guys who get a little loose, and they reveal some secrets, or they say some things they wish they could take back. So I think it all comes down to the individual. You gotta understand media before you try to jump out and start doing these podcasts.
Well said.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Fred VanVleet is checked in for the Raptors. Here's VanVleet. Leonard on the wing. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
And guys, at this point, just a side note, they've got this one sewn up. He's probably headed to the bench one way or the other.
Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. And the Raptors call time here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Reggie Jackson.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
On the road, in a tough atmosphere, he's taken on the role of star tonight. If one of their other players came up short, he picked up the slack to make sure they'll be walking out of here with a win. Detroit on D. Fader on the way. Valanciunas, good.
When Valanciunas is getting it to fall from there, the defense is in trouble.
Now Jackson. Smitty, every so often we'll hear about a team holding a players-only meeting. You've been there, I'm sure. You've gone through that. What exactly goes on in those discussions?
You know, Kevin, when you hear players-only meeting, something's going wrong with the team. And obviously, we meet all the time, but when there's specific, in quotation, a players-only meeting, there's a lot of things that are going wrong with the team, with individuals, with the coaches or general manager. They are trying to find a way to hash it out, and those are never good.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Pistons leading by 22. Left side, Griffin. To the paint, here's Pachulia. Then Pachulia with the dunk.
I love that play right there. You see the patience of Blake. Doesn't force anything, just waits for his man to break free.
Here's VanVleet. Outside, Green. Kicks to Leonard. Shoots over Bullock. Bullock with the rebound. Bullock's got his 5th rebound in this one. The pass to Griffin. And here's Bullock, defended by Ibaka. And another 3 for Detroit.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Detroit.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Reggie Jackson.
What I like that he came ready to compete in this game, but he did it under control. Tremendous poise, never seemed to be in a hurry, just played the game the right way.
It's stolen by Green. Leonard on the wing. He's guarded by Bullock. That one falls.
Dating all the way back to college, this is one of Kawhi's pet moves, the Sutton pull-up jumper.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Jackson. Serge Ibaka pulls it in. Outside Leonard. Pass to Van Vliet. Back to Leonard. Out to Ibaka. From beyond the arc. That shot is off. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Steve Smith, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.